Hey, Snapper.
Hey, oh, hang on a sec. Grab my earbuds.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? I'm just plugging in some earbuds.
Thanks.
Excellence of sound, and away we go.
I'm gonna keep the live chat open. If there's people, encourage them to talk so we can prove to them that this. Bless
That's
you.
actually happening. Thank you. Sorry about
You're good.
that. I'll try to mute when I'm sneezing, like I just did.
You coming down with something?
No, just it's allergies, I think. We're a bunch of new stuff floating about.
We got hot mic, so maybe we should mute till it starts.
Oh yeah. Hello, lacrosse friends from across North America and around the world. We are preparing to do the draw for the LAXNAI 2025 to be held in beautiful Utica, New York, September 18th to 21st. I am Stephen Stamp, and I am going to be kind of hosting things as we roll along here. And Scott Neese will be doing the drawing. We're going to get to it pretty quickly as it is just turned over to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So do say hi to us in the chat. Let us know if you're here, where you're watching from, and any reactions or questions you have as we go. And Scott, let's dive into the Masters Division, which will be the only one without any kind of a draw for this tournament.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And real quick, just hi to Ryan Conwell, Kojami, mostly proof of witnesses that this is live.
There you
Check in
go.
with us if you're watching. So right into our Masters. Real simple, same as last year format with four teams: Kanawaki Moon Bears, Onondaga Red Hawks, and Tri-City now playing under the Dogs. They'll play a round robin of three games, and then the top two teams will meet in the championship game. Third and fourth place teams will meet in the third place game. So no draw necessary there, but we wanted to introduce them and give a shout out to our 35 plus Masters guys,
Yeah, the most important division, obviously.
obviously.
Obviously. So we are going to move on. And our next group, we will go to the U15, where you can see the six teams that we have. And Scott, before you start spinning, do you want to just explain exactly how the play will work in this
Yeah,
group?
absolutely. So we have six teams. We're going to divide them into two pools of three teams each, Pool A and Pool B. So we're going to spin this wheel and basically assign an A, a B, a C, a D, an E, and F, and then we'll have our two pools, A and B. These two pools, they'll play two games each, obviously in pool play on Saturday, two games of round robin, and then Sunday we'll have playoffs. So the winner of Pool A will play the second place team of Pool B in the semifinals, and the winner of Pool B will play the second place team of Pool A in the other semifinals. Semifinal losers will mix it up with teams E and F. So everybody gets their four games no matter what, but that's how we get a champion. So there's no pots, there's no weighted teams, we're going to place these six teams into pools completely randomly. And
And
we
when you say, Scott, just to jump in, when you say E and F, teams E and F, mix it with the semifinal
Yeah, I
losers, you mean
apologize.
the fifth and sixth place
Yeah,
teams from the
the
pool
third
play.
place
Yeah,
teams from each pool. I
yeah.
apologize. So so we'll spin now and we'll start placing them onto the wheel. So we're gonna spin for spot A.
Okay, and our Canadian entrant from the Ottawa area will be going into the A spot, and that's a nice spot for them to sit in. And now we're going for B, right?
Yep.
I love the confetti every time a pick lands as the Junior Bombers drop into slot B.
All right. Now of significance, now we'll see who's paired with who.
Mhm.
So into C matching with the loggers.
So it's a very logger slash woodman slash timber themed pool so far.
Spinning for D to join the junior bombers.
Okay, Eastern Door. Now, the way things are going, my guess is going to be that Team E will be the Yeti, the home club, because they're always seen in the woods.
I like that. So we're
Thank you.
spinning for Pool E. The team that is not selected will obviously be Team F. So this is for E, joining the loggers and the woodsmen. Let's see if your prediction is true, Stamper.
I think I nailed it. The Yeti will be found in the woods.
And that means that Team 23 joins the Junior Bombers in Eastern Door in Pool B. So there you have it. Any matchups to see there?
I think Eastern Door and the Junior Bombers are teams that may be familiar with each other. Um, and then you've got, I think the interesting thing, you've got a Team 23 in the Loggers. It's kind of nice to see them split into the opposite pools, so they're not playing each other right away. But I'm always fascinated to see how the Yeti do. Honestly, the local team, they've got such a program going and such a passionate place. With as you know, obviously playing at home, I'm sure they're familiar with all three of the Nexus University rinks that we'll be playing on as well.
Right. So moving on here to U18.
And here we've got two pots.
Yeah, so I'll
Or-
jump into it. This
Yeah,
was
go
originally be
ahead.
10 teams. We had Muskies Black, Muskies White,
Right.
and they made the call late to merge into a single Muskies team, Snake
So
Island
that'd be
Muskies.
Muskie's Gray.
Muskies, yeah, just singular
Yeah.
Muskies. So we have a very eloquent X over one of the Muskies, but you can see the other nine squads are here. Um, and basically the same format as the U15s. The difference is we're not going to be into individual pools. We have nine teams and they're going to each have two preliminary games on a single table of standings. We have one Canadian team, we have four Haudenosaunee teams, we have four American teams. So we've basically scripted the matchups so that teams get a little bit more diversity in their
Mhm.
schedule and they're playing teams that they don't regularly see. We'll draw. We don't need to draw Team A because that they are the loggers. They're the single team is A, and you can see here that the loggers will play B, which is a Haudenosaunee team, and they'll play F, which is an American team. And what we've done is we've grouped the Haudenosaunee teams into a single wheel, and we've grouped the American teams into a single wheel. So we'll spin them. We'll place B, C, D, and E here, and you'll see the matchups start to take shape. With these nine teams on a single table of standings, you'll have four teams at the top of the standings that are either 2-0 or maybe 1-1, sneaking into the four-team semifinal. And the bottom five teams will play in the consolation rounds for fifth through ninth place. The 5 through 8 teams will play in a semifinal, and the losers of that semifinal will mix it up with the ninth place team to get them their two games. So every team again gets 4 games on the weekend, two on Saturday, two on Sunday. Before we start spinning, a whole lot to Enrique and a hooray old guys to Ryan Conwell. Well, right now it's a hooray to the young guys. So we're gonna spin the Haudenosaunee teams here, and we'll spin to see who Team B is. You can see we already have a couple matchups or one matchup with Kanawake taking on the Loggers. So we'll take them off the wheel and we'll spin to see who we get as Team C.
Almost rolled over there, but just seen something when we did our practice draws to that sometimes the opponent pin will be pointing almost straight up and you can barely tell who it is. But that one, fairly clear outlaws on that one.
And then we're going to spin for D, and the team that's not selected will be E. So you can see this is starting to take shape.
Mhm. And congratulations, by the way, to the Snake Island Muskies Senior B men who just won the President's Cup. A fantastic performance against the Brooklyn Merchants in the final of that tournament. And we're going to see a bunch of folks, I would think, from that team down here. And for the youngsters, we'll see who's with them.
That's gonna be fun. All right,
Mhm.
so same deal here. We got four American squads: Junior Yeti, Pittsburgh Kings, Maine Northmen, U.S. Indoor Lacrosse, and they'll get letters F, G, H, and I. So we're spinning for Team F.
Maine always has quality players, quality programs. I mean, we've seen them around for a long time, and interesting to see them playing the Loggers is, Maine, the most northern of our entrants there. So that's a pretty good geographical matchup there.
This will be G. A big shout out to Greg Beecher and Blue Squash Productions
Mhm.
for introducing us to the wheel, by the way.
So the Junior Yeti again, the home squad dropping in. As you see, they'll play the Outlaws and the Muskies.
And we'll spin for H, and the team not selected will be I.
So the Kings slipping in there, and the USIL. USIL is very interesting because they have won the IIJL World Juniors this year, and they also just recently, very recently, won the U18s for IIJL. So they are producing some terrific teams, some terrific players. We don't know who will be there, right? This is a bit of a development program, I believe, for them, but they're gonna have some talent for sure.
Yeah, they're interesting. New to the LAXNai, and we're excited to
Mhm.
have them.
Yeah, awesome to have them on board.
So yeah, some exciting matchups here, and it's going to be interesting who creeps into the top four.
That Ganawage Loggers matchup interesting. Of course, Ganawage is basically very close. They're up pretty much by Montreal. Um, so that's a natural rivalry. That almost becomes like a east/north division geographically.
Absolutely, and this Muskies USL could be interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Muskies obviously tons of talent. And then to the women's division.
Yeah, so 10 teams in the women's division, an all-time high. We've had eight in the two previous editions, so we're excited that this is growing. We've also brought the division in all senses kind of equal to the men. It's 3 days now, just like our men's tournament. Teams will play 5 games instead of four. We have our defending champions, Sky Women, and BP Lawyers, who won the tournament 2 years ago and were in the finals last year. They're in pot one. They're perceived as our two strongest teams. And then we have four teams in pot two and four teams in pot three. And just like our U18 division, we have one table with all 10 teams listed. Um, and the difference is that teams here will play three preliminary games, not two. Um, and we'll take the top four just like our U18, and they'll play in the semifinals on Sunday. Bottom six will play in a consolation round. All teams get 5 games on the weekend, three preliminary games, which you see here, game one, game two, game three, across Friday, Saturday, and then the two playoff or consolation games on Sunday. So what we've done is we've balanced this to make sure that teams have schedules of relative equal strength, diversity in strength in the rosters, and that nobody gets like a really tough schedule. Like last year, we had a team that had both Sky Women and BP Lawyers in their two preliminary games. So this avoids that. It mixes up a little bit. One quirk: we have BP Lawyers and Israel who have scheduling constraints. They must play each other. We'll get to that when we spin our second wheel. But basically, we will ensure that they play each other, and that allows us to get the proper amount of games per day, given the schedule constraints. So we have two teams in pot one. They will be teams A and B. And then we have four teams in pot two. They'll be C, D, E, F. And we have four teams in pot three. They will be G, H, I, and J. So we're going to spin for pot one right now. We're going to spin for A, and the other team will be B.
And again, these are the two champions who have won the women's LAXNI, the BP Lawyers in 2023 and Sky Women Ascend last year.
That one was not really interesting, but now it will get
The
interesting. So,
interest only ramps up from there.
Yeah, so Israel must be D or F. We'll just keep an eye on that as we go, but we're spinning for C right now.
So if it is Israel, we just don't take them off the board and we spin again. It's not
Correct.
going to be so. Thousand Island Spirit's a relatively new team. The men's team plays in the Nabel, but the women's team has come along and they are. It's such a passionate place. You got Nate Jobson up there doing a bunch of work, and the women certainly. I mean, it's a bit of a pun, but they were very spirited last year when they came in.
Spirited.
Yeah.
For Team D.
So Loggers going in, Loggers and BP Lawyers is quite an interesting rivalry there. And that basically decides the rest of the order for this pot, right? Because you said
Yeah,
Israel
it
has to
does.
be F, so identity will come into E.
E will be identity and F.
Identity, who has they've got quite a strong relationship with the Haudenosaunee Select Junior Women's Team. So expect to see a lot of crossover there, which I think can really make things pretty interesting because obviously the Haudenosaunee are the Sky Women are a Haudenosaunee team and they were dominant last year.
Yeah, some exciting matchups already.
Mhm.
So now we'll spin our last four and we'll plug in G, H, I, and J. We're going to spin for G right now.
And these can all go anywhere wherever they land, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
E are the Irish squad.
And they were not here last year because, as with many teams representing nations, obviously the proximity to the World Lacrosse Box Championships made it tricky for people to be at both in some cases. But we're expecting a really strong developing nation there for Air with their representative team.
Here's H.
And the Yeti actually go by Tri City, right? They're the Tri City
No,
team.
they're the Lady Yeti now.
They are the Lady Yeti. That was
Yeah.
the Tri City Club, though, was it
Yeah,
not?
they've just made
They
a name change.
they
They've been
yeah, they
kind of like
made the
the
switch.
same
So
leadership and yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so that is the group that played in the inaugural exhibition game of women's lacrosse at the LAXNai a few years ago.
So here is I and the other team will be J. So this team is I.
Valkyries with a lot of representation from the women's major series lacrosse in the Arena League, as it's primarily Ontario based. So you know there's going to be some solid play coming out of there.
Yeah, some exciting matchups here.
Yeah. Poland, this is cool for Poland because they've been playing in Shebox. They have really done some terrific development. They have some excellent players, but this is their first appearance outside of Europe, as far as we're aware,
Yep.
as a Poland women's team.
So we'll move on here to the men's bracket.
Okay.
We got a roll ducks from It's Houdini. If you're in the chat, if you're a witness, give us a shout out. We'll shout you back to prove we're live. Um, so
One
the
question: why
men's,
am I not seeing anybody in the chat?
I think you got to open the view page on YouTube.
I, I thought, oh,
You can't. You're on Zoom with me.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
excellent point.
All cool kids are on Zoom. So men's championship bracket. You might have seen some busy looking stuff on social media. We have the bracket here, and we'll give you a zoom in. Oh, I think that's the most we can zoom in. So the teams here, basically, there's pots assigned to this bracket. We have gold, we have silver. If you're a silver team, you need to win six in a row to win the championship. If you're a gold team, you can lose one of your first two games and you're still in contention for the championship. And you're kind of reborn in one of these spots on the bracket. So it's all kind of scripted here. This is what the bracket looks like. It's available on social media if you want to see it and zoom in and play with it. Um, and we also have our pots. So we have our gold teams split up into pot 1A, 1B, and that's by start date, but we'll randomize, who they play within that. And then we have pots two, three, four, and five. So pot two are what we perceive as our strongest silver teams. And what we've done is we've tried to create this so there's no real stacked matchups early on in the bracket. It's balanced. Each quadrant of the bracket is balanced as far as strength of teams. But the fun part about the North American Invitational is, we don't really know what everybody's going to bring. We see rosters, but like teams vary greatly from year to year. So
Mhm.
upsets galore we expect across the bracket. But we have 8 teams in each pot. We'll go over them on each, and we're going to place them. Basically, just place 40 teams onto that bracket that we just showed you. Um, there is one issue with scheduling constraints. There's 4 silver teams that are going to start on Friday. They must be here on the bracket, and we've pre-drawn them for better or worse. So Germany will be the pot 5 team in that slot, and we're going to take them off the wheel before we draw. To keep this moving, you'll see my mouse will be highlighting the cell. We're just going from the upper left down and then the upper right down of the bracket. So we're going to start with pot 5 on the upper left. On the wheel, we have Bulgaria, Generals, which is a Herkimer team, Portugal, France, Pittsburgh Kings, the Good Stick Company, Zolos. These 7 teams plus Germany make up pot 5, and we're going to spin right now to see who the first team on the bracket is. France.
So debut for LAXNA for France at the LAXNAI, and we're pretty sure it's the first time playing box outside of Europe.
Next one, Generals.
You mentioned they're from Herkimer nearby, but what, 20 minutes away?
20 minutes, alumni and active students.
Mhm.
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. I had the honor of calling their first international competition as a field team at the Euros this summer, and it's pretty exciting to see them building indoors as well.
The Pittsburgh Kings.
And they've just got one team this year, whereas in the past they had two. So that can be a recipe for consolidating and strengthening a club. We'll see how they do.
Portugal is back. And we have 2 slots left to fill. We're spinning for the top slot. And that's good stick, which means the Mexican club will be down here.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little hard to tell at this point, obviously, with only 12 teams in or 9 teams in, how this is going to shape up in terms of matchups. So we'll talk about that a bit more as we proceed and see what's happening.
Absolutely. Some quick shout outs. Thousand Island Spirits. Let's go, ladies. Kyle Kane Satake. How do we say that? Kane Satake Eagles checking in.
Ganashitage. Yeah,
Got it. Thank you.
you betcha.
I'm gonna
Welcome,
work.
Eagles.
Welcome, Eagles. Ozarks will be our Friday pot 4 team. They go on the board here. And then we'll pop back up top and we'll start spinning the other 7. On the wheel, we got Bang City, Stallions, Hummingbirds is the black and green down there. Ear Blue, the A1As, Puerto Rico, Full Senders. Spinning now. Full senders.
Yeah, so guys primarily from the Cayuga Nation, and they have talked about looking to get a box built in Cayuga, which would be fantastic, a box across venue.
The Stallions.
From Massachusetts, making the relatively short trip up the coast and in a bit.
Bang City.
Another local club, a Utica-based team. Air Blue just squeaking into their quadrant. So that will be again the second Irish Heritage Club.
Or does they have the stronger defense of the two clubs?
Ah, there you go.
And the A1As.
Yeah, the in Mohawk, their name, as it's spelled out, comes translates to "We come together as one," which Carl Van Every's doing a great job of up in Akwesasne, and obviously that's what we all feel we're doing here in Utica for the LAXNAI.
That'll be Puerto Rico drawn there, which means the Hummingbirds, which is the Jamaican squad, squad made up of a lot of Jamaican players at least, will be on our bottom right bracket.
And Puerto Rico did play in the LAXNAI back in 2018. This is their first reappearance. But they're a team that on the field side has been just rising and rising, really getting competitive. So it'll be interesting to see what they've got going box wise.
All right, so now we'll do pot three. Greece is our pot three Friday team. They will play Ozarks, and we'll pull them off the wheel before the draw. So 7 teams left. The Eagles, the Maine Northmen, the Moon Bears, the Blue Ducks, a new squad, Talking Hands, Utica Yeti, and the Bucks via screenshot. So spinning to see who plays the full senders in the first round. Talking Hands, the Italian unofficial team.
Yeah, an Italian heritage squad. And boy, Italy had some players at the Worlds last year in Utica. Don't know if many of those guys are there.
See who will play the Stallions. It's a New England battle.
Yeah, the Maine Northmen, and they have been very good at times. And they had, I know a couple years ago, they ran into some numbers problems, and they really redoubled their efforts to make sure they've got legs, which is critical as you get through into your, fifth and sixth game of the weekend.
Spinning for Bang City's opponent is the Blue Ducks.
And they are a very popular gear team. People love their merch with those blue ducks. And apparently the genesis is from something I'm not familiar with, the Adam Sandler movie,
Oh yeah, yeah. I would wear
Billy
that logo
Madison.
on a shirt.
Yeah, I've
It's a
never
good
seen it.
logo.
Sorry. It is a good logo.
The Eagles will draw ear blue. Now we're spinning to see who will play the Akwesasne A1As. That
And this
is
is
the
the new Bucks Club.
new
The
Bucks.
so not to be confused, as you mentioned, with the Akwesasne Bucks that were formerly in that have shifted their branding as well. But yeah, the Bucks are a new team, but very a young group and a lot of box experience. That's going to be a good matchup.
And this team is playing Puerto Rico. It'll be the Moon Bears.
The Moon Bears, who started it not as a joke, but as a like a fun team, guys coming together. But they are very competitive. They really put some good clubs together. Brian Conwell with us is it's his pride and joy, and they may be the coolest cats in the tournament.
And look at this first round matchup, the Utica Yeti against the Hummingbirds. That could be fun.
Yeah, that's Jamaica infused Hummingbird Club, and the Yeti. I'll tell you, the Yeti put on a great show in their home barn. They make it an event to go to a Yeti game there in the Nexus One.
So our pot two team with the Friday start is Gold Star Tel Aviv. They will take on the German Heritage team. So that bracket's complete. And the other seven teams in pot two will now draw, and this will be our final silver teams, and then we'll have our bracket. So on the pot two draw, we have more dudes. Ear Mint, they're going with. Flying Head, the Gaia Gohano Lakers, Space Lax, Res Runners, and CTC Elite. So we're spinning to see who will play France. It's Flying Head.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself, but yeah, Flying Head based out of Tonawanda, and there's so much good lacrosse coming out of that area.
Ear Mint will play the Generals.
And by process of elimination, since you said Air Navy or Air Blue is considered the stronger defensive team, Mint would be the offensive juggernaut.
That's an excellent conclusion.
Thank you. I pride
To
myself on the
see who
quality of my
plays
conclusions.
Bulgaria. CTC Elite.
That's a club that's always competitive. They have had some very high finishes. It's their fourth straight LAXNI. They actually finished fifth 3 years ago. Very competitive club.
Spinning to see who plays the Pittsburgh Kings in round one.
Gallagher Lakers. And we do want to say to all the friends of Woody Seneca, a rest in peace and condolences as we lost Woody in the summer. And he was just a giant of a man in every sense. Honestly, just a terrific guy. If you started trying to list his friends in lacrosse, it'd just take too long. But for everyone, our condolences, and we'll all remember him.
Spinning for Portugal's opponent. More dudes.
Do not be fooled by that name. They sound pretty pretty chill, pretty like just a bunch of dudes, but they're good. They're from the Philly Box Lacrosse Association. Just missed winning three straight PBLA championships with but they were within an overtime loss to the Akwesasne Bucks last year of making the final eight in this tournament.
And Res Runners will meet Good Stick,
Hmm.
which means that
Now, Res Runners, you were saying is kind of the core comes from the Ganawage Hunters Junior B Club, right? So that's I mean, they're the Founders Cup champions as of about a week and a half ago. So that is a heck of a group.
probably the front runner of this bracket here with these four.
Yeah, yeah.
And that means that Space Lax will pull in over here.
How awesome is that logo?
That's pretty good.
I love it. I love it. I have a Space Lax hat. It is super cool.
It's pretty good. So we got the gold pools to go. We'll go B and then A. Cordelia Eno, the Hummingbirds are a team with a lot of Jamaica national team players.
Hmm.
So we've split up the gold pool into A and B. That's not by strength or anything like that. It's just by scheduling constraints. So these are the B teams. You have our defending champion Rochester Bats, Seneca Marksmen, Chucky Bees, which is a new team, and the St. Regis Braves, which is the former Akwesasne Bucks. So we'll spin
Great.
for this top slot of 1B.
And we may have a logo off coming between the Blue Ducks, who are getting some love from It's Houdini, and Space Lax, who, I mean, honestly, Blue Ducks, I like the logo, but that Space Lax logo is spectacular.
So the Bats take our top slot, defending champs, looking for their third title. And their first round opponent will be the Marksmen. Remember, the losers of these games are not out because they're in the gold division. They have the toughest opposition. So they're kind of rebirth elsewhere on the bracket. You can't lose twice, though, out of gold. And if you go 2-0, you get a bye. You could see to the quarterfinals. So you only play 5 games. You don't have to win 6 to win the
What a
title.
matchup to open up, right? With the Marksmen who have been to three straight semifinals, the Bats, the defending champions, and based on their roster, I would say the early favorites to win this year.
And that means these other two squads will be placed here: Chucky Bees and the St. Regis Braves. So that's our Gold B bracket. And some exciting opening games for Thursday over there.
Chucky Bees has a pretty serious roster as well. Like looking through that, they're strong. The gold group is full of really high caliber teams.
So, hey, thanks for the love, Mark Stanton. We're gonna spin pot 1A now with same deal. Four of the top 8 teams, just grouped by these teams starting Friday. So we'll spin to see who's in this top upper left slot first. Frog Pond, and
Based
their
out of Six Nations. Their tournament team came ninth at the Alice Beski this year. They're only lost to the Victoria Leprechauns, who wound up winning the tournament. So that's a good club.
and the Turtle Island Gladiators will be their first round opponent,
Okay,
which means the Code
that's the former
Talkers.
Young Guns club, right? That Tyler
Yeah,
Brown puts
they won it
together.
in
So
2019.
yes, so they always come. I guess they're slightly older guns now, so they've got the Turtle Island Gladiators name, and they always put together a good roster.
And that means Code Talkers and Club 24 Heat will be on the other end of that bracket.
Yeah, Club 24 Heat was the team that really just flew up the rankings last year. They're coached by John Tavares. They have some terrific players. Wound up third place last year, and they're taking on a Code Talkers club that is also a very, very good club, very talented club. Just great matchups up and down the gold group.
Yeah, Code Talkers finished second last year,
Yes.
so you could kind of see the whole bracket. It's pretty big, so it's hard to see the whole thing here. But we'll make this real pretty and make sure that everybody gets a good look at this on social media in about an hour. Um, and keep your eyes peeled for the schedule. Will be released by Thursday, the latest. We're excited. We're excited. This is biggest LAXNAI yet. 70 teams across 5 divisions, and we got a good media plan with our friend Greg Beecher, Blue Squatch, pumping out highlights and new videographers, photographers. So we hope everybody's going to be excited to see what we have rolled out for you in Utica next month. Travel safe, and Stamper, any final words?
No, just it's such an exciting tournament every year, and there's changes happen that to just keep it pushing forward and new ideas, and the size of this tournament is fantastic, right? The number of people involved, uh, it's just great to see that much lacrosse and to feel it. And it's such a community when you get down to Utica. It's great.
Absolutely. We'll see you. We'll see you all in Utica, September 18th to the 21st. Fly safe, drive safe, and get ready for some good lacrosse.